today.
Is Kendall gone today? Okay. Where's the flag? Oh, there it is. I was like, where's the flag?
All right, please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning.
Naturally.
Budget work session.
Yes, and I'm hoping it's going to be really quick. Very quick, like 10 minutes maybe.
Okay.
So this front page that I had laying on top of your books, you had requested last time to kind of come up with all the ARPA funding that we have allocated and what's been requested. So that's what this is. So we have an additional $256,000 that has been requested. The ambulance will be at your next meeting. Shane is wanting to do some updates to their computers. Right now they have iPads, but if we get them computers, then they can actually be into the GIS maps and CAD system, and so it would basically make them, it would be a better fit for them. So he's coming to the next meeting for that. And then you had also asked for what were the main budget increases that we funded this year. The treasurer had an increase, and hers was mostly publication costs, is what I could tell from her request. Register of Deeds has part-time help. Courthouse General is mainly insurance increase costs. District Court had some legal defense. They wanted to increase their budget due to legal defense. IT, we had shared services. We had a part-time person go to full-time, and that's with shared services with the city. And of course, that's being reimbursed back from the city. Conservation, they requested $3,800 in additional funding. Road and Bridge, they will be fully staffed. That's what the budget number is showing, is fully staffed, and an extra $50,000 for material on the roads. And then in Special Bridge, they asked for an additional $40,000 for material. Public Safety, their increase is mainly due to wages and supplies. And then the jail sales tax, we moved capital outlay from the public safety over to the jail sales tax from the sheriff's funds. And then everybody gets a 3% raise except for elected officials. So those were your main changes for this year. I did, as you look through each tab, I have included behind the budget document the 10-year recap and audited financials, so that you can have that to refer to over the year. I like to think of the budget document as kind of your map for your projects. This is what you should always be referring to whenever we're looking at spending and making sure your cash balances are coming in correctly. And if they are, then you have the budget authority to spend. I did add some additional things behind the Sheriff's Department so that you can see the trend that had been requested. And so that is tab, let me look here, tab 17. And so if you turn to the page that shows the chart, this gives you more of a visual of what's gone on in that department. And you can tell it was right about, the major changes was right about the time when the jail was built. Commodities stay about the same, contractual stay about the same. But there's definitely a shift in personnel services. Contractual for the correctional center, though, has gone up, went way up in 2020. And if I remember correctly, that was due to the food service industry, and we had a lot of inmates. So that's a cost that's, depending on I would say how many inmates are in will determine that cost. Then the next page is the same thing that was shown during some of our budget work sessions. I just thought it was good data to have in there. But I tried to include behind each section where there was major discussion around projects or capital improvements. So if you move to tab 20, like with the Road and Bridge Fund, I included their 10-year capital improvements plan and their equipment replacement, just for reference when we're looking at this in the future. And then the ARPA funding, I also included it behind the ARPA budget, so that if you had any questions, you could always refer back to that tab, and it'll show you the different things that you can spend on the ARPA funding, which is tab 23.
On tab what?
23.
Okay.
Now, we have another year, we don't have to spend that type of money now.
That's correct. That's correct. We can hold on to this.
Okay,
We got a couple of years, actually.
good.
Jim, you had asked about debt service. If you'll look at tab 4, it's actually page number 5A. This gives you a debt service schedule clear out till 2035 to kind of give you an idea of when debt falls off.
Mhm.
So hopefully it'll help with decision making as things come up through the year.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of things coming on the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yep. So you'll be able to maybe build up some of your equipment again.
What,
That's pretty neat. Looks like the landfill backhoe will be paid off next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
It's like you need to make one little correction, your jail pod equipment should be coming out of the jail sales tax fund,
370,
page 5.
page 5. Let me look. Is it not? What's Fund 370? I think Fund 370 is jail pod. So the fund number is right beside it. Yeah, it is coming out of there.
Well, I'm sure it's coming out of the right one.
Yeah,
214. No,
370.
270.
Yeah.
It shows just on the page 5. On mine it says 212.
It shows 212.
So it's
Under lease payments,
yeah, I'm looking at conditional lease pay purchase certificate preparation, page 5, unless I got an old copy.
oh, yep. That is an error. Good catch.
They,
Okay, I'll fix that before. It's right on the next page.
I can guarantee you, when we started this process 7 years ago, that there was a lot more lease purchase payments on Road and Bridge, and it's down
Yeah.
dramatically.
Well, we paid cash for a lot of things.
We do,
We did. We bought a lot of equipment, paid cash.
Good.
paid stuff off too. We
Good.
had
Yeah.
cash to pay them off.
It's come a long ways.
We have,
So really, what I need permission for is on page 28 and 29. These are the budget summaries, notice of budget hearing, that basically lets the public know that on September 14th is when you'll have your budget hearing. We did discover that the cemetery boards will need to have their own revenue neutral rate hearings, and so I have scheduled them on that day here in this building and they're 5 minutes apart. So there's 4 that have to have that hearing, and hopefully Kendall can get a hold of them and let them know that they need to be present. But so every 5 minutes. So that's why yours is starting at 9:20 instead of 9 o'clock. So that was recommendation from the state, is that those boards actually approve their own revenue
And then
neutral.
it's cemetery district, right?
Yes.
So,
So we'll need to have those board members here.
actually, right on the fire district.
Yeah, the fire district one is under us. So, and they stayed revenue neutral. So,
Yeah, they normally just give us a budget for 2 bids.
yeah. So basically, I need to be able to publish these 2 pages in the paper. And if you're comfortable with the numbers. Our mill levy last year was 64.931. This year it'll be 62.5, and our revenue neutral rate is 62.130. So we're just up just a little bit over the revenue neutral rate.
That's great, though. We've done a good
Yep.
job. Thank you.
Yep.
You know, really kind of looking at that is when you look at all the houses that have been sold, and all the appraised values going up, and the new businesses, you know, it's really kind of phenomenal when we're at this point. $100,000.
Yeah. When I looked at, I looked at like the school district and the JUCO and the county compared to the city. All of your guys' assessed valuations are trending up. The city's is really trending flat. So we've got some real problems, in our housing market. That's obvious. And so that's something that we need to probably be more aggressive on. But I thought it was very interesting when I was looking at that, because in the county we're seeing things really grow. Probably not seeing that as much in the city.
Yeah, hopefully in the near future we'll have a packing plant on those.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be a 10-year tax refund on the
Right.
project, except for
Right.
the land.
Right. Right. Which is something I need to get with the county commissioners about. There has been a request for some improvements to the industrial park for the packing plant, and so we may need a partnership there. Maybe a request to use some of your ARPA funding also, in addition to ours, because the request is about a $500,000 improvement to get water and sewer to that plant.
There'll be a discussion in the future.
Yep.
Yes?
Yep. It's coming. So just a heads up.
Talking about ARPA funds and funding, EMS is part of that mix that we can use ARPA funding.
Yes. Yes.
So just looking going forward, did we use any of this year for EMS?
No, but that's what is being requested is $26,000 to improve their
I'm looking
equipment.
more along the lines of a little bit bigger request, like a new ambulance.
That I need to look at, because I would want to get an opinion from the state on that one.
That'd be a good one.
So I could,
Opinion on
okay, I'll reach out to them and get it. Yeah.
The money, taxpayer money
Yeah.
that maybe we
Okay.
can offset for a year or so.
Now, this water and sewer, is that a must before they start building?
Um,
Isn't that kind of late?
well, the request just came to us, so.
Well, kind of like mental health. just
Yeah,
because-
and so my concerns there is the city will not get any kind of a tax benefit from the plant, and so that's why we were discussing coming to the county to maybe help and share in that. And again, the ARPA funding that's totally an acceptable cost. But yeah, there's a lot of things that were not discussed ahead of time that should have been. Even from their perspective, they didn't realize they were going to pay time and a half for water and sewer. I mean, you're in the county, so you're going to pay that.
Well, yeah,
So-
all these requests are valid requests, so they're needed, so
Yep, yep,
you just have to set up priorities.
yep. And it's creating jobs, and so
I'm gonna throw something out there. We have to sustain an emergency room.
What's that?
We have to sustain an emergency.
Well, yes, we do. That's our number
This
one
other
priority.
stuff, I'm sorry, in my opinion, the priority is healthcare.
Well, that's why I asked how long we had to spend it, but
Yeah.
I'm concerned with healthcare also.
Yeah.
Agree with
Yep.
Well, I agree with that. That's our priority. Less than,
Yeah.
of course, healthcare's always been our number one priority for the last 3 years.
Right. Right. I think it's probably, maybe we need to have another city-county joint work session to really talk through maybe our ARPA funding and see if we want to make sure that we're accomplishing all of our goals.
That would be a great
Because I
idea.
think we're going to be asked also for healthcare. We know that. So just want to make sure that we're being prudent.
Well, I think that'd be a great idea. Kind of part of the budget process that needs to be looked at.
Yep. So,
So you need a motion to publish this and approve it?
yes.
Yep.
correct?
Yes, please. We'll approve it at the September 14th meeting. I just need a motion to be able to publish.
I make a motion to allow Susan to publish the notice of budget as these numbers are given to us, I guess we want to call it, and go forward and publish it. Set the public hearing.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Update on audit. Terry Surser will have a draft to us next week to review. And he will, I got a kind of a heads up yesterday. And so, anyway, there'll be a draft next week. That's about all I can say.
And what's the purpose of the draft? Why don't we just do that?
Because he is not only auditing your financials, he's also preparing your financial statement.
I
And
see.
so he wants to make sure there's no misstatements in the financial because he had to do so many
I
adjustments.
see.
So
So you'll be able to share that on,
he will
Email?
he will meet with each of you individually.
hmm?
He will meet with each of you individually this year.
Okay. That
So-
will be good.
He's out of town this weekend, but he plans on it's to the typist right now. And so once he gets that done, he'll sit down and go through it with us.
Is that normal, meeting individually?
No,
No, it is not.
I didn't
It
think
is
it was,
not.
but,
No, it is not.
this is a new concept.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is all new to me, so I have to ask questions.
Yeah, that is not generally how this is handled. So
Well, my understanding is gonna be a lot different this year than it has been in the past.
yeah. So
Okay.
okay, that's all I got. Thank
Very
you.
good. All right.
Make a motion to adjourn this budget workshop.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Have a good day, guys.